Okay, welcome back to video number 2 on the second skill that you need to know is purpose. So for purpose, the format again is context, message, evidence, explanation, outcome. Alright, so what is context? Basically, use the background information to help you get the context. What is happening at that time that led to the source being produced? Yes. So when you answer, remember to have all these things like convince, because, persuade, specific audience like Singaporeans. Okay, do not attempt the question without first writing down what are the elements that you need to write down in your question, because if you don't have any one of these things right in your message, then you will just drop down to 2 marks or less. So that is something we want to avoid. So be very mindful that you need to have all these things, especially this because if you don't have this, you will get a big fat 0. Okay, so let's aim that none of us get 0 for this question. If not, we'll just be wasting our time. Okay, so evidence, just like your inference, make sure your evidence is very specific. Okay, make sure your explanation closes all the gaps. Again, use your imagination, close all the links with your explanation. And finally, the outcome, which is what the audience wants, what the author wants the audience to take. So a good example is this. I made this speech because he realized that. So where did I get this from? I got this from the background information, right? He realized that we as Singaporeans, we tend to not be so environmentally friendly. Again, the context of this is cycling. Okay, so he made this. Okay, element number 1, I have my because he wants to encourage. Okay, I have my verb, I have my audience, specific audience, Singaporeans, and then I have my message, which is that cycling is feasible because it brings benefits to Singapore. How do I know this? Because my evidence tells me that at night I will cycle 3 o'clock. This is what the Danish people do. They cycle at night 7 o'clock. Even rain, snow, or shine or sunshine, they still cycle. What does this mean? This means that these Danes, right? If it's raining, you wouldn't want to cycle. But the fact that they are cycling, even though it's raining, even though it's snowing, means what? Means that they regard cycling as highly beneficial as a lifestyle, right? Not only is it healthy, but it also helps to promote an active lifestyle, and it also helps to save money. And the fact that they can do it means it is achievable, even in undesirable circumstances. So I'm closing all my gaps, right? What does it mean? Okay, you must think. What does it mean that the Danes are willing to cycle rain or shine? It means that number 1, it is feasible. Number 2, they see the benefits to it. And number 3, it is definitely achievable if you set your mind to it, and the benefits are there. If not, people won't do it, right? So that is my explanation. And finally, my outcome. My outcome is that people will realize this and start to cycle more often. It's something the Prime Minister wants people to do, an action that they must take in order to make the Singapore a better place to live in. So let's look at some common errors. Again, not answering the question. The source tells me that. So straight away, this one 0. Okay. Made this because. Yes, give me my because. Next one, no action verb. Made this because he wants to tell. Again, wrong. This one, sub message, maximum marks level 2. Unless you write convince. Change the tell to convince. Next error. Again, this is the same as your inference. So if your message is vague, lifted, or not related to the main issue as per video number 1, then you will get a sub message. Your maximum you get is 3 and below. So we do not want to get so little marks. So before we write down, think first. What is a good message that is to the point, can be explained, and it's not lifted, and it's not vague, it's not good, it's not bad, it's not horrible, or all these type of words, right? So we want to avoid these these two at all costs. This is the number one mistake that students make. That's why I keep repeating it in the different skills. And specific to this question is, many of you were right. The author made this because he wants to convince Singaporeans to start. This is an outcome. I want my Singaporeans to start cycling, but it's not a message. A message is the reason for this, and the reason is because it is beneficial. Tell me the reason first before you tell me what is your outcome. Okay? So you should change it to cycling is beneficial. And finally, when you write your outcome, make sure that you have the audience in mind. Okay? Wrong answer, the author hopes that benefit of cycling is clear to who? And what do they want to do? So it is an outcome, but it's not an outcome. So write the audience. Singaporeans will do what? Will start cycling as a mode of transportation. This is a good answer. Make sure that you do it tomorrow. Alright? So this is video number 2 on inference with purpose.